Hey guys, do not be in panic mode. Just be responsible citizens and then we can tackle Corona well together. I woke up to loads of messages of people saying that the Apollo pharmacy has run out of stock of sanitizers and masks. There is a shortage in the country of N95 as well as 3-ply masks. All the factories are on overdrive. We've contacted suppliers and everyone is trying their best to meet your requirements. But in the meantime, I'm here with our infectious disease specialist, Dr. Ratna Rao, to show you what you can do to protect yourself. Thank you so much, Dr. Ratna Rao, for being here. So, thank you very much.
No, I think you should do namaste.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so namaste it is, and that's one way of protecting yourself from the virus. Dr. Ratna, I wanted to ask you, we are short of masks and N95 as well as 3-ply masks. What do we do in this situation?
Actually, we are using the mask unnecessarily, and it is very clear that we have to protect ourselves during this episodes of epidemic of coronavirus. So, what the best would be to have only the patients who the persons who have cough, they should be given a mask, because we are going to run short of this mask in due course of time.
We are already short of it.
Yeah, so it's better that the patients are given the mask so that they can not spread the virus, because that's a better way of controlling the spread rather than each person around wearing a mask. Mask has no actually value unless there is droplet infections in the patient. It spreads by droplet, and it only goes up to 3 feet from whenever a patient coughs, sneezes, if he is symptomatic. Otherwise, there is no chance of spread. If it's an asymptomatic area where he is not feeling, not having overt symptoms of cough, sneezing, fever, then there is no alarm at all. So if you have a person who's got a cough and you feel that he has a travel history, he's an index case for suspicion. So in that case, it will be best if he is confined to taken medical advice in terms of whether to go to the hospital and take medical advice, or have a doctor see him just to evaluate him. Now, all the contacts around the place, if he's kept in isolation, if he's asymptomatic and has a history, he can be kept in a single room with a well ventilated area. There is no concern. Only thing here will be, whenever they cough, they should cough into their arms so that they don't spread the droplet. The idea is that when you cough, you spread the droplet out and it falls up to 3 feet. And within that 3 feet, if somebody inhales, there's a chance of getting infection. If the patient if the person is not in contact within the 3 feet, there is no fear at all. That's roughly 2 arm length of your distance, and there is no fear at all. Now, the virus as such is right now, because it has just come in, we have problems in terms of getting accustomed to the virus in our bodies. So we will overtly have infection in some cases, but you have to protect the elderly patients who are comorbid with diabetes, hypertension. They are at very high risk for getting deteriorating fast if they get this virus, because they can get pneumonia, have breathlessness, and succumb to the disease. But otherwise,
what is the age group? I'm stopping you.
It's about 60 and below, very young people, because these two groups are the ones who are prone for infection.
So 60 and above are prone.
Elderly patients, and especially with comorbidity who have. So those people have to be taken a little more care. And it has been seen that young people, we don't have hardly any mortality, that is death, less than 2%, whereas in higher age group we have around 15% of because of their age and comorbidity.
Okay, that's amazing. So now the next question is, now if we don't have masks, can we use cloth to protect ourselves?
No, I think the best would be to use a disposable tissue, napkins, tissue napkins, and one use, and then discard it into flush it off. That is the best solution, because these are potential areas where you create a droplet and somebody else touches, then there is a chance. And also, it's very important, whenever you have an episode of like this, it is frequently either do an alcohol wrap or a hand wash with soap and water, because those are the best ways to prevent transmission. Avoid touching your eyes, your face, or frequently whenever you are in, have a potential source of infection.
Coming to sanitizers again, we are falling short of sanitizers in the country today. what else can be used as sanitizers? And also, is there a natural sanitizer that people can use in their homes?
The best way is to soap and water, because there is no other. Right now, there are methods to make alcohol at home, but then, I mean, the sanitizers at home, but it has to be standardized to make it effective. So the best will be to just have soap and water. That also soap solution rather than a bar of soap, because that is the best way to prevent other infections also. If you use a soap solution, that's a simple hand wash is good enough for eliminating the virus.
But soap solution means you have to keep pressing that. How do we manage the top?
You can have it with the elbow. You can have it, just push it down and take two swabs and then put it. That's the way to have two of them and take soap and do a good all the 6 steps of hand wash. If you do that, that's good enough. If you have a good hand hygiene, it's a very good way of preventing diseases.
And apparently, the virus is killed with solutions with over 70% alcohol. Is that true?
Yeah, the minimal content of sanitizer should be about 70%, because that's the only way the virus will get deactivated. So it's better to use a product which has got 70% alcohol.
So, like aftershave lotion can be used, perfumes can be used, nail polish remover can be used. If we fall short, I'm just, thinking about all this in a time of crisis right now, if we run out of stock.
No, I think it's been a very standard guidelines that these products do not have 70% alcohol. So I don't think we can use. I mean, there has been no studies to implement that we can use these dyes as an alternative to hand sanitizers. Better will be to have any of these products which have 70% alcohol to use it as a hand hygiene.
Okay, so 70% alcohol. Any
Minimum.
other ingredients that are important to be
Only
in
alcohol. If ethyl alcohol is there, it's good enough.
Okay, anything else that we need to look out for, like you said, chlorides or something like that?
That is for surface disinfection of the environment, because as I said, if a patient is coughing too much, the environment gets soiled by the droplets of him. So the best would be to 3 times a day you clean it with a disposable cloth, the surfaces. Household bleach or Domstol as they call it, or chloride content, any of those products can be used to clean the surfaces. That is frequently used surfaces like tables and your beds, so that you invariably other person comes and touches, and then he touches his face and eyes, then there's a chance of transmission of the disease of the bug. So that is why we have to make sure that the environment is kept clean as often as possible.
That's amazing. So our outcome from this video is masks are only meant for people with symptoms and not just every random person. The other thing is try to keep your hands to yourself and do not touch your face with it. And namaste is always better than a shake hand at this time. And then also disinfect your house with products with 70% or more alcohol content.
Or bleach.
Or bleach.
Or hypochlorite. These are available in the market, so you can look for these products and use it. And also, if the patient is using mask, it will make sure that he uses it only for 6 hours. It cannot be used more than 6 hours. And also, if it gets wet, not to discard and use another mask.
That's really important. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It really means a lot in this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. You can also email Dr. Ratna. I will share her email ID with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've heard Dr. Ratna say that tissue is a good option. I saw this online and I said I must try it out. So here it's on 5-minute hacks. I really love following all this stuff. So here you go. So you just take tissue and make this fan out of it. By the way, I love DIYs. They're so practical. So this is how you make this. So standing tall, you go here and then you do this. And then you take the stapler, nice big one. Then do that. Then again. So here you go, you have your mask ready. But the problem is that this is not fitting my face. I have a big face. So this is what you do. You add another rubber band and put this in your ear. This is just to protect yourself. That's more than enough. Remember to dispose your mask off where nobody else can touch it, and use it only if you have symptoms or people around you have symptoms. Then wear a mask to protect yourselves. Take care and stay safe.